Welcome
Okay, I'm ready for
everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Across the Pond podcast. I'm your humble host, Woozy Low Jr. And I'm here with some of the best co-hosts ever on Twitch. You heard it here first. Viva Red, the legend, and my man Sly with the robe over there. Look at him flexing on us, looking sophisticated. Today we have a nice podcast. First thing I'm gonna say, first thing I'm gonna get off my chest, I'm sorry that we're late. It's all my fault. I take full responsibility for it, but don't worry about it. The energy is still gonna be high, bruh. The camera's not on because I look like shit, but it's all right. Today we're gonna touch on some different topics. We're gonna touch on gaming in 2020, how some people have what's the word I'll use, coped with 2020 by using gaming. We've also, what's the other one? Help me out. What was the other one?
It's being an asshole.
Oh, there you go.
Can you? Yeah, go on.
Does being a dick make up? If you're a dick, can that be made up if you do successful things in life, bro? Is there a disparity in that? And we got some more to talk about. Don't worry about it. Watch it to watch the rest, bro. And now I'm letting my guys do their proper intros because I'm out.
He's done. He's not talking now for the rest of the time.
Gone.
Yo, what up? I'm Viva Red. I'm here with man like Slyvesterz. What you saying, Dance?
Man, it's alright, man, it's good. Just out chilling, making the content. I'm your boy Sly, with the robe, of course. In England, we call it dressing gown. Whatever you want to call it, robe, dressing gown, it's all good.
Robe sounds more like presidential, you know me?
Yeah, robe sounds a bit better, innit? Like, with the robe.
Oh,
Like,
no.
if you saw my last video, yeah? Do you mind what's Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I need a new name. And I was like, I'm going to call myself Sly Jarobi. You know Yajirobe?
Oh, no.
I was like, and then I put the meme there. Go watch that if you haven't. Anyway. Hey, I got a question for you, man. This is a one-word answer. I don't want too long because it's nothing to do with it. But I just want to ask you a question.
Go for it.
If you man could be one animal, what would it be?
Killer whale.
Viva marks you.
Killer whale. That's a fucking hot one.
Killer whale.
Still. That's a hot one still. But then the only problem with being a killer whale is you're in the ocean the whole time. The ocean's scary. Even if you are a killer whale.
You know why I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna be a killer whale?
Go on.
Killer whale is the top apex predator of the ocean. They're the only animal in the ocean that has the ability to be picky about their food. I think that shit's the hardest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's pretty shit hot, you know. They literally see something and they go, nah, I don't fancy that. I want something else.
I literally watched them eat a whale's tongue and throw the rest of the whale's fucking carcass like for the rest of the ocean to eat upon. Shit was crazy.
Well, what whales do they eat though? Because like I think being a blue whale would be lit.
Humpbacks.
What would I want to be if I was any animal? Fuck. I don't even know. I've never even considered it. Dance, what's your answer and then I'll think.
I don't know, something that could fly, like an eagle or something.
Lions be kind of cool.
God.
But then do you know how long that shit would take?
It's cool, bro. To absorb the sights, the surroundings, sightsee. Go fly to Paris one day if I want to,
Fuck
So
it,
do I have my stream of consciousness of a human being?
Yeah, that's one of the things I was gonna say. So you still understand?
Well,
it,
shit, you didn't give me that part, but I mean, shit.
Then I definitely don't want to be in the ocean. I know what gets pumped into that shit, fam.
I ain't gonna front, bro. I'm trying to be a tiger. I'm trying to fuck some motherfuckers up. Cause like
until you reach a pack of hyenas and you're finished.
No, that's a lion, bro. I ain't gonna. No hyenas can. You know hyenas won't even eat lions, bro.
No, they just bully them.
Yeah, that's it. Shit's crazy.
It's just for sport.
But
I think being an elephant would be fucking cool.
Elephants are dope as fuck.
Do you know what I find, like, if you actually deep what an elephant looks like, their trunks are like to their feet. They're fucking huge.
So these guys are trying to be an endangered species.
Hey, my man, Lynn P, what's up, baby? Welcome to the stream. Can I ask you a question? I need you to be our test rabbit, bro. Is there a delay at all? Is there like a delay like last time where it's like 18 minutes delay?
Yeah, so how long did it take for us to respond to your comment in the chat? Did it take long for us to catch it, or was it something
It might be the
that...
other way around though. He might be replying because Ruzi just said a killer well.
Shit, no, a couple seconds.
Couple
Okay,
seconds.
we're blessed.
Yeah, okay. Man, like Mo's in there as well.
That's why I love our people, man. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all missed the most fire intro I've ever made in my life. 10 out of 10. You heard it here first.
You can watch the VOD back.
Whoa.
You can explain to them why are you not visible right now? Why are we an hour late?
Listen, bro. I don't know how to give up. All right, that's the problem that I have. It's the problem I'm gonna die with, man. There's no camera right now, guys, because my dumb ass was up until what time was it?
5 a.m. your time.
I was actually up till 6. I was up till 6 a.m. my time. And we had to be live an hour after that. And literally I laid down, was like, I'm just gonna lay down for like 45 minutes. Fucking woke up and I was like, 45 minutes wasn't it, but I'm getting up.
He's here. He's done it.
I'm fucking here, but you guys can't see this ugly ass face, bro. I have so much inflammation.
Redo it then, fam.
I want to ask Bob, it's your answer, yeah? Mo, my question is, every episode, right, I'm going to ask a random question that has no relevance, no nothing. It's a random question. So, Mo, if you could be one animal, what would it be?
With the mind of a human.
Yeah, you still like, you're conscious in it of.
My man Lynn P said a jellyfish, immortal and brainless, just vibing. Who hurt you, bro?
They are immortal, yeah. Biologically.
Hey, no cap, bro. I ain't gonna front, bro. Being a fucking coral reef sounds kind of dope.
See, Mo said eagle like me. Jeez.
Until the fucking sun burns you, Root, and then you're fucked. You can't move.
Yeah. But I can't feel it. It has no pain receptors. You just get white.
Yeah. You just die.
Yeah, you just die slowly.
Just slowly and painfully die with no life around you.
My man Mo and my man freaking Slyvesterz want to be American so bad, bro. Eagles, come on, what's the heck is that?
Hey, any predator that's in the sky that is not a prey to something, I'm good, bro. I want to be the big boss of the sky, like Rayquaza or something. You know what I mean? Like
Rayquaza.
You know what I mean?
I was so when I went to Florida, we saw like bald eagles. Those things are fucking wham.
They're big as hell.
Oh wham, bro! Like, jeez, fam. You don't want to fuck with that, honestly. Wild shit.
But y'all, I don't want to like I said, it was a good beginning topic, but I don't want to get too far. I want to jump. So, which one did you guys want to touch on first?
Should we just go straight for the title?
What the title is?
The arsehole.
The AHole one?
The AHole.
I mean, let's do it, Nani.
Fan of AHole. If you're not a fan of AHole, what are you a fan of?
For real.
That's my vote, innit? What do you man want to do?
So, like I said, we could do the AHole. The real question is, are you a top or are you a bottom in your relationship? Just kidding. Anyways, the real question is,
the fact is, yeah, Vivo looked like he's about to answer.
I'm sitting there and I'm going, like, well, do we need to answer this question?
He's like
6 or the 9.
He's like, sometimes you gotta switch it up depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes.
Alright, so
the topic is, for anyone watching, is, can you be too big of an arsehole? Meaning, does being an arsehole overwrite your success or your achievements?
So
who wants to go first?
So a good example of that would be Elon Musk.
That's where it come from. Yeah.
That's a good modern day example.
Yeah, because Elon Musk, he's been known to be a dickhead to a lot of his employees, to just people in general. He doesn't like people. and he's abrasive and doesn't give a fuck. He has no emotional intelligence. Or he does have emotional intelligence, he just chooses to use it a different way. So he's known to be an asshole. But the guy at the same time is... Yeah. The guy at the same time is making crazy moves in I forgot what it's called. In space travel, in environmental cars with Tesla, and improving the world as a whole. To an extent. If not trying to take himself completely off the planet, but at the same time, commercializing space travel is a huge thing that he wants to do as well. So when you look at his life, do you sit there and go, he's so much of a dick that nothing else matters? Or do you think he's a fucking dickhead, but the shit that he's achieving is more than him being a dickhead, outweighs it?
What do you think, Ryan?
I've never met him. I can guarantee, if I met him, I'd be like, he's a fucking cunt, I don't care what he's doing. And that would be it. Like, that would be the end of the conversation. But because I haven't met him, and I'm like, the guy's going to Mars, fam, that's lit. Like...
Alright, say like you met him, right, and he was just... He wasn't an arsehole to you, but you could tell he had arsehole tendencies. Like,
he had that aura.
Yeah, he had the aura. He kind of disregarded you, kind of sort of ignored you, cut you off, kind of talked down to you and shit. What are you saying?
It pissed me
you
off.
swinging for him?
That would straight piss me off. Like, I can't even front. I have no time for that. I don't feel that. Okay, so as much as like, yeah, he's probably like, if he gets us to Mars and all this stuff, that's epic, and that will outweigh him being a dickhead. That just will. Like Steve Jobs, everyone knows that Steve Jobs wasn't a fucking nice bloke either. A lot of people fucking didn't like him. But the iPhone, everyone was like, fucking Apple. And that will live longer than him being an arsehole, than his reputation. And I know for a fact that Elon Musk's reputation will live longer than him being an arsehole. It just will. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit there and be like, do you know what, yeah? If I met him and he's a dickhead to me, I'm going to be like, I'll be like, no, he's a fucking dickhead.
You know what's crazy about this question is I think about it farther.
Go on.
Go ahead, Sly. What'd you say?
I was going to say, considering he's an arsehole, this is straight to Ryan as well, to continue this point. Would you want his accolades to be taken away? Would you feel like, nah, someone else should be doing it? Like, I don't want this guy shouldn't be here.
No, because at the end of the day, he's there. Like, there's no one else there. No one else is able at this moment in time, or wants to at this moment in time, do the same thing that he's doing. So I'm not going to hate on that. I can appreciate that timing happens and that he's a dickhead.
So like, so I think part of the reason I want to ask this question, part of the reason why I like this question was for two reasons. One, I mean, I hate to bring up this guy, but you know the guy, Robert Kelly, you know, R. Kelly, bump and grind guy. You know,
don't say his name right there.
Like
he who shall not be named.
Yeah, like, you know, he had a great catalog, and now a lot of people feel like his catalog should basically be expunged because his situations. But it's like you said. So should your art or your work be separated from your character as a person?
Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah, is if you didn't know shit about R. Kelly and you listened to Ignition, you'd be like, that's a fucking banger all day long.
It is a banger.
It is a banger. But you can't take away from the fact that he's a fucking dickhead. He's a nonce.
Yeah.
and like, there's loads of well, not loads. There's a lot of like Jeffrey Epstein, for example. You know, prior to the fact that he's a fucking nonce, people regarded him highly as a good businessman. His legacy is he's a nonce. Because the scale of it went way above whatever the fuck he achieved in his life.
So
I didn't know who he was before this. I didn't know who he was.
Oh wait, really? Deadass?
No, he's like one of the richest men in the world, fam.
I'm not even gonna tell you who he is. So
I don't know.
Like Len P said, being dickhead is different, and like I know it's different, but I'm making the correlation because in the sense of like, so a popular example recently, and SoCal might know this like I do, is that they talk about Ellen a lot lately. You know, Ellen has given away a lot of money, given away a lot of things. She's given away a lot of she's done a lot of like quote unquote humanitarian things. But behind the scenes, not only was she like a dickhead, but she was also a toxic being. Like, harassing the people around her. So it's like, does the good that she did outweigh, like obviously that person she gave something to, they'll never look at her that in that light. But like I said, I'm not trying to compare that to someone who actually fucking dated fucking 16-year-olds. But it's like, I'm just talking about like, I guess, is there a line where it's like, okay, is there a line between dickhead and like, oh, you're just a bad person? And does that also affect the accolades that you have?
I feel like in terms of people like R. Kelly, that's just straight cancel, innit? But
Yeah.
someone like Elon Musk, and I'll compare him to Ellen, right? If you are, I personally think people are not perfect. If you're successful, you're not perfect. You're still a human being. You still have likes. You still have dislikes. So just because you're in the face of the public all the time doesn't mean you're going to do everything right. Doesn't mean you're going to be like a perfect role model. Like, you're still a human. You have your own opinions. So you may say some dumb shit, or you may do stuff or be a certain person that's disrespectful. Elon Musk, to me, from what I've seen, obviously I don't know the brother, but I've read his book. It was written by someone else, so it's not really biased like that, but he seemed like a very focused man on a mission. And he's had 3-4 companies, and each company, like, he's been very focused. He's put his all in, and he just lacks empathy and understanding to people anyway, because he's in his own world. I mean, he read a book. That's why he wants to go to Mars, because he read some book series and he was fascinated with space and all that, and that's why he taught himself all of the
fucking weeb.
Literally, that's why he taught himself all rocket engineering and stuff. And even when you go look at his recommended books, one of them's about rocket science and shit. But that just seems like him. Whereas Ellen, like, it's not like she's doing something for a greater cause. Like, her being a dickhead to these random people who work for her doesn't seem like it's for a greater cause, or it just seems like she's on a power trip, and then she's trying to mask that by bringing these people on the show and being nice. Whereas Elon's a dickhead because that's his staff and he wants the best out of them. He just can't understand why they are not giving their life to him for this ultimate goal. And I feel like I may not explain it well, but I feel like there's a little difference. Ellen just seemed like a dickhead to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, it's like she's aware and she's just being a dickhead because she's Ellen.
So then it depends.
That's who she is.
So then it depends on the persona of the person, then, essentially, and what because you can't deny though that you can be hella talented and be a dickhead, and you're still gonna get known for being talented over being a dickhead a lot of the time. I think Ellen is a good example because she's a chat show host and her whole persona is, I'm really friendly and nice and everyone needs to come and be friends with me, and like that's her engagement, right?
Exactly.
To address my man Mo, we do read the chat. I definitely read what you said, and he definitely stole your idea, but it's all right.
Moderator Prime. See, me and Mo think the same. He comments, he wants to be eagle like me. He say this. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. On a different
wavelength.
Go on.
I'll say you guys are just on a different wavelength.
Yeah.
But I guess. Oh shit! Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think it depends as well on what you're trying to achieve as to how your dickheadness affects your legacy. Because if you're a rapper and you're a dickhead but your songs are banging, then that's calm, innit? I don't care if a rapper's an asshole. If they're an asshole in their personal life, that's kind of down to them. But then if you're a public figure like Ellen, you're putting yourself out there to be a character, and you're not that character. That makes you a bit of a dickhead, a bit more of a dickhead, I should say.
And I think to add insult to injury is that no one, like with Elon's situation, what he's trying to do is gonna adversely affect people. It's just gonna have to affect people because other people are gonna have to come after him. With Ellen, you didn't have to go, be this ultra humanitarian. You didn't have to go start a show where you give people opportunity. You chose to do that. So to choose to be in that situation and then also be a dick is just like another level. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
You think she's done it after the fame? You think she just liked it, or like it's because she's in such a position where it got to her head and now she's a prick?
That's a good question.
No one knows, right? Because if you would have to have known her beforehand to know if she was just a fucking dickhead or not.
Well, I like to believe that money makes you more the person you want, more the person you are.
Yeah, like that's a good point. Is that money gives you the freedom to be the person that you want to be, and she got to pick, right?
I mean, like,
I think there are parts of that you learn, and there are parts of that you are born with. But at the same time, you at the end of the day can decide how you address people, and if you want to address people like an arsehole, then you're just making yourself out to be a dickhead. There's genuinely no need for it. There isn't, fam. Like, if I'm Ellen DeGeneres, what? I'm like a multi-millionaire with my own TV chat show, yeah? I'm just gonna be a dickhead to all my staff just because. What's the point?
People will take power differently, innit? Like, people take that position and status as different. Like, people will
like a free pass
for no reason.
That's facts. That's facts.
So to kind of to get like a good topic to like a peak point. So we talked about Elon Musk, we talked about Ellen, and we talked about, well, I tried to bring up R. Kelly, but that nigga's canceled. But so I realized there's two types of like ways of somebody living on. You can live on through their talent, which would be like a Ellen or R. Kelly. You know, somebody has actual craft, and there's somebody like Elon Musk and like Bill Gates, where it's like they don't. I mean, not saying they don't have a talent, but saying that the reason they're gonna be lived on for is because their legacy. Like the reason for legacy is different. Do you feel like what their legacy is could dictate whether you could take it back or not? Because like I said, for R. Kelly, if he's music, it's easy not to play his music. But if R. Kelly had made like a good example would be Walt Disney. He recreated, like, he basically made Disneyland. Like, are you just gonna shut down Disneyland because you found out he ain't shit as a person?
Right? People like that who make companies, they are sort of detached from their companies. Like, the companies are a different entity. Ellen DeGeneres on the Ellen Show is sort of her. Without Ellen, there is no Ellen. The show's named after her. That is her. And same with R. Kelly. His music is his stuff. Like, you can't really detach that from him. Whereas Microsoft, there is an association with Bill Gates and Microsoft, but he can have nothing to do with it. It's his own entity, it's his own separate corporation, his own separate being. So,
but isn't Bill Gates' middle name Microsoft?
No.
Isn't it Bill Micro Gates?
I don't know.
I'm just fucking around.
If it is,
I was gonna say, fuck off. I was gonna use that. If you guys had a clip of my face right there, I was just like, this guy fucking serious. But
like, you know what I mean? Like, they can separate that. Even Elon Musk, down to a point, he can separate himself from SpaceX.
Hey, he can 100% can.
Stole from someone, I think.
That goes back to what we were saying last week with the idea of the fact that you are your brand if you are the personality of whatever you're representing. So sports people, music artists, talk show hosts, all of these guys are their own brand. They are their own company. Whilst, like you said, Bill Gates, Elon, Joseph Bezos, whatever, they can separate themselves because themselves are not the brand. The brand is whatever they've created. So yes, in that sense, your legacy lives on regardless of you being a dickhead, because the company or whatever the hell you've built will live on past you. Whilst Ellen DeGeneres is going to live to be Ellen DeGeneres, and then Ellen DeGeneres ain't going to be there anymore. And that will be the legacy.
You know, it reminds me of, I swear Michael Jackson bought Prince's masters. Like, he bought all the songs. Like, if Michael Jackson was cancelled right now, technically he owed, well, rest in peace, Michael, he owns Prince's stuff. You ain't gonna write off Prince now, are you? Because he owns that shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're detached from it. Michael Jackson is literally his songs only. No matter what he owns, Michael Jackson for Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. I
do think though, like Arb said, being a nonce and being a dickhead are two different things.
Yeah.
Like, because being a dickhead, like, I'm 100% sure that there's a shit ton of dickheads in the public eye that people know are just dickheads, and they're like, to be fair, like, he's a great basketball player. He can hit a free throw. Like, you know what I mean?
At the end of the day, you're not here. More time, you're not there for the personality, especially like sports players and all that. More time, you're just there to see them play. I accepted that some people are dickheads, especially in the world of business. You can't be friendly to everyone. You can't be everyone's friends. Like, you're gonna piss off some people.
Well, that's
you
in
might piss off the
general, isn't it?
majority of people. That's literally
Yeah,
in general. Like, just because
fine.
they're in a public eye doesn't change that fact at all. It's sort of
Yeah,
like Lil Wayne. Yeah, I like Lil Wayne. Then it come out he was endorsing Trump. I don't care about that nigga's politics. I don't care. I listen to his music.
that's real
He
shit.
can support Trump all he wants. I don't care about that. I'm not following this guy for his politics or his philosophy or anything like that. I'm purely listening to this guy's music because
I
I think he
voted
can
for
rap.
Kanye.
But then,
Shit, I can't bother with you anymore. You know what I mean?
but
That's not
then that's why it depends on the extent of them being a dickhead. Because like I can sit there and I can go, Lil Wayne's he's clearly stupid because he supported Trump, and he's a black guy in America and he's supported that's just dumb in my opinion. I have my own opinion. Other people can have different opinions. That's fine. We're not going to get into politics. But the point is that we can sit here and we can go, he's a dickhead, and you can then make up your opinion as to whether or not you're gonna be annoyed about his music or not as a result. Because that's the divine right that you have. Is you can go, he's a dickhead. I don't want anything to do with him anymore. Or you can go, he's a dickhead, but I rate his tunes.
To not, I don't want to harp on this too long, but I will say this: you got to be careful too with delegating a whole person's being by one dumb decision. 'Cause like I said, I like to think about. I like to always. Every time I try to like chastise one person, I like to think about back to me, myself, and like my peers. If I was based off one dumb decision I made last year, I don't think that's fair. Granted is the most recent version of you. So if you do like, if I did like Trump or whatever, obviously that shows on me like, damn, bro, you give a fuck about money, then you give a fuck about your own race or whatever. But it's like, does that inherently make me a dickhead? I could say that's definitely a dickhead decision, but I can't full send like, oh yeah, you're just a piece of shit as a human being.
That's true. That's true because I agree with that. Like everyone makes mistakes, everyone does stupid shit, and everyone is human. So that I completely agree with that. Like it depends really how far you take it though.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because you can sit there and you can make an uneducated announcement or say something. I'm in no doubt that a lot of people won't like me because I'm very quick to speak my mind, but then some people check me on it and I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
Brain vomit.
Yeah, brain vomit. But that's the point, right? Is that when you get checked on it and someone's giving you an opinion, you then have the opportunity to switch that, and then I think it depends if you switch it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I want to ask you man a question based on that. I want you to go first. Do you think there's some mistakes or bad decisions that's unrepairable? Could R. Kelly be forgiven? I'm saying that. So it 5 years down the line, could R. Kelly be forgiven? I don't want to make this about R. Kelly, but do you know what I mean?
I would say this.
Some mistakes or some decisions that just can't be. Nah, once he's made this, you're done, fam. You're done.
I plead the fifth.
I don't.
I
no, you fucking can't.
I was.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. If it's too political, it's fine.
It's not political. I just feel like what I want to say. So I'll say it like this. I know, like say y'all gonna have to give it to me, bro. Because like I said, I think everything from a very like non-emotional perspective.
Sure, go for it, bro.
We'll use the example of R. Kelly. I hate using the example of R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a piece of shit, like 100%. But I also gotta recognize that he wasn't a scapegoat because the motherfucking parents knew where their kids were. So I'm not gonna let him be the only shithead in that situation. But that still doesn't okay. that doesn't outweigh what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's things you can't be forgiven for, but you gotta. I don't like where we live in a society where someone gotta hold all the weight. In the word, like Cowboy Bebop, you gotta hold that weight. Like, I feel like somebody gotta be only the problem, so everybody else can get free. Like, when you hear like a corporation does something bad, there's like a lot of motherfuckers that have to go through.
Yeah. No, I think I can get that because there's always two sides to a story. So it's kind of like, well, you have Jeffrey Epstein and then his wife or whatever the fuck it was at the time. I think she's just as bad. Just as bad.
Yeah.
But she doesn't get the rep that he gets.
Yeah.
But she's just as bad. Like, they're both fucking assholes. And, like, again, being a nonce and being an asshole, different things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, if we take away from that, I think it really depends on... So, I'm going to straight up say I think R. Kelly's unrepairable. He's a fucking shit.
Yeah, he's done.
He's an absolute shit person. Get out. But then when I sit there and I go, okay, if you make a decision and you decide to be an asshole, and then someone checks you on it, like I said before, and then you don't check yourself on that opinion or whatever you've done to make yourself an asshole and take responsibility, then whatever you've done makes you a fucking asshole.
So to go down this,
is there a time frame there? Sorry, is there a time frame with that though? How long are you gonna give them?
Well, that's situational, right?
Yeah. So yeah, because yeah, that's situational for sure.
Because it depends on the extent of the fuck up, and it also depends on your learning curve as a person too.
So
if someone said something stupid when they were young and they didn't realize they kind of fucked up, and then they get checked on it like a year later, but then they're still like, what? That doesn't mean anything to me, and then they get educated on it 5 years later and they go, oh fuck yeah, I fucked up.
So
fair enough.
To like follow the stream of consciousness, because like you said about Epstein, his wife was just as bad. I want to ask you guys, because I was like a little bit of a history buff, and I think the biggest thing that was crazy to me about World War II, after everything came down and they started doing like the trials, you know, the afterworld trials and stuff like that, and they started charging people.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about like some of those people, like some of those like German soldiers, where they like basically like feel like they shouldn't get any of the rap because they had no choice, either that or they're gonna die. They spoke out against it. Like, how do you feel like that's justifiable in when it's situations like that?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, when it comes up against death, it's a very hard choice. And
exactly.
I feel like a lot of them have been manipulated, and like it wasn't of their own free will. But I understand everyone technically has free will, and that goes into what Kanye was saying about the slaves, which okay, let's not get into that. But I think I actually want to speak about that, but okay.
Do that next week, fam.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Okay, if we do it at all, I think a lot of
Nuremberg trials, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, Nuremberg.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of them should be pardoned, man. I think some of them, I will accept it, because you're under certain conditions where it's either that or death, and it's a bit like, can't blame someone for making one decision or the other.
Well, I guess my thing is, and does the person who enables the person to do something just as bad as the person who did it themselves?
I think it depends on what they give up or what they sacrifice for it to happen.
I mean, it's always, the major situation in this one is life, but even sometimes it could be life in the sense of like the life that you're used to living. And like I said, like Epstein's wife, she could have snitched on him, but she would probably now been not as well off and had a tarnished career because who she was married to. I mean, it still came nonetheless, but that like I said, that doesn't give me the pass though. I still feel like she should have did it anyway.
She was actively doing it though, man.
Yeah.
She was like hustling these 16-year-old girls. Like,
well, that's the thing.
She was actively doing it. I can appreciate if she got roped into it. Like the kind of, okay, so to go back onto the war question, yeah, with the Nuremberg trials, they got the top Nazi guys who didn't kill themselves and killed them. Right? That was kind of the way it went. And then after that, you had the ranks. So the higher up the rank, the more influence you had, which meant the higher priority you were for the decision making. And because you had more influence and more power, you needed to get offed because you were more responsible than some random SS soldier. I know a lot of the SS soldiers got killed, but you were a lot less impactful than those guys. Like random soldiers who fought in the war, who did bad shit. There's a lot of Allied soldiers who did the exact same bad shit. The only difference is that the Allies won and the Germans lost.
Yeah.
Right? So you can sit there in that instance and you can go, okay, like these guys were just fighting for their countries and for their land, and that was fine. It's when it came into the war crimes with the SS soldiers and everything like that, that's where they were held accountable. So if you were a regular German soldier, you were fine. It was the SS guys who were doing a madness that were getting offed, and I think that's completely fair.
So
in my opinion.
That's fine. I agree.
Let's bring it into like a real world situation, and one that we could face today. Like, so if there's a couple walking down the street, and the couple get into a tussle, the man's putting his hands on the woman, and there's a guy who watches the whole thing happen, and she gets her ass beat. Maybe, sad to say, she gets injured. She might die. What do you feel like that person who just watched that shit happen should be also accountable as the person who actually beat her ass?
No, and it's a tough one. I'm very on the fence about it. It can go either way. If you do one thing, I don't blame you. If you know, I don't blame you. It is what it is. But the thing is about it is, as they say nowadays, niggas are pussies. So he might be beating his woman. If he's beating his woman, he has the capability to beat you or stab you or whatever. So it's like, you don't know if this woman's gonna die. I don't even want to laugh, but you don't know if this woman's gonna die. He could be beating her up bad, and you can get involved, and you can die. You can get chefed. So it's like, if someone decides...
That's what I'm saying. So does fear of death give you the pass?
I think we live in different times, man. I don't think it's like that anymore. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, if someone told me that story and they said, yeah, they sat there and watched, I wouldn't blame them too tough.
I can't lie to you, yeah. I think in the day and age, having your phone and filming something is just as impactful as getting involved in the action.
Man, this is where I have to diverge with you.
Yeah, so
on that point, I have to disagree.
Exactly. I'm saying that's why I'm saying that's why I asked the question, because it's not true.
I'm just giving the instance, right? Because for example, in the UK, there was a guy who basically kidnapped a 8-year-old from walking to school, and a woman filmed him and was like, "This guy's suspicious as fuck. You should put it on social media." And people went out and found the guy. Right? She couldn't do anything at the time. I don't know why she didn't do anything at the time. I think she should have done. But the point was that by doing that, she instigated action.
Mm-hmm.
And instigating action is better than not instigating it, in my opinion.
But that was more reaction. Like in that story, she was very active anyway. Without the phone, she actually went up to the guy. Like
the one before that.
Which one was the before that?
So there was a photo before that, which is what that woman went and led off.
Did she have a video though?
She took a video when she went up to him. But
I'm saying she went up to the guy and like she grabbed him like.
Yeah, no, she went
the guy
in.
before.
There was a photo of the guy before. That's how she knew.
Wasn't that the same person? I'm pretty sure that was the same person.
Was it? And maybe I'm not clued up on it. If it was the same person, then fair play. Then my point's invalid.
Because I actually followed her on Twitter as well, because I remember I quoted it. But she, even with her phone, she went up and she was asking the child like,
are you okay?
In danger and stuff with the thing.
100%.
But like Pont said, everyone's kind of scared nowadays, man. If, like I said, if the guy's beating up the woman, he might come out and stab. And why I disagree with you, Ryan, about the phone thing is, you could record this man killing the woman. The woman's dead. That can't be
100%
reversed.
No,
fair enough.
Totally
if she doesn't die, you can find the guy, you can punish him. But if he does enough damage where she dies, then it's like recording or not, she's dead. That's where I disagree on that.
You might have to call me cynical, man. I guess just from what I've seen and what I feel like enabling might be. I won't say as far as equal to doing the crime, but I feel like enabling might be just as it's up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, You're like, I know a popular show in America is what would you do, basically. They have different scenarios and see what would people do. So there's like a scenario they had where they had like this black guy with a white kid, and they have a white guy walk up and like, why do you have that kid, and blah blah blah, like harass him basically to see how other people in public situations will react. And they also flip it, they have the white dad with the black kid, and the black guy walks up, why do you have that kid, and then blah 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 and stuff like that. So it's like seeing that happen and seeing how some people just like mind their business, some people don't. Like, to me, it's like I always got side eye the people who just watch it happen, because it's more like, granted, like you say, obviously it's not their business, but it's like, damn, bro, you're gonna watch someone like berate another person, and there's no inkling in your soul that feels like, you know what, let me go actually just, if you're gonna, stop them in any way, shape, or form. Because to me, you're just contributing to whatever that guy is putting out there. If that makes any sense.
I feel in certain situations, yeah, but in others, it just feels like. So what if a scenario turns out where these two people are arguing, they're about to fight, and you are there, and you can break this up, or you can stop them fighting. Now, ordinarily, if you didn't involve yourself, these men are gonna fight, they're gonna get injured, they're gonna go about their lives. But now, like, you've interfered, shit's got even worse, and then you end up dying or something like that. Like, you don't know the outcome of the event before it's gonna happen, and your interference could mean your life or a life which wouldn't have happened prior.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You've heard many stories of someone getting involved and being the one to end up dying. And it's just like.
I have a question. On this topic, right? Between the three of us, have you ever seen an injustice or a situation like that and got yourself involved?
All the time.
I don't think so, no.
Right. So I can give an example of when I was at uni. I was walking back from a night out, and there was a girl who was crying and was like very quickly walking away from this guy saying, "Don't follow me," right? And this guy is quite clearly drunk, and I'm very drunk, and I'm like walking between them, and I've heard her say, "Don't follow me, don't follow me." She's like kind of half running away, and this guy starts jogging, and I've like put my arm out, and I've like stopped him, and I've said like, "Yo, she said don't fucking go for her," and he's like, this, and I've like grabbed him and just fucking pulled him, and I'm like, "You're not fucking going anywhere." Like, if you think that it's okay to do that, you're wrong. I had no like context or anything like that, but if someone was sitting there going, "Don't do this," and you're actively doing it, and in that situation where it's like late, people are drunk and all this kind of stuff, I felt the need to get involved. And also as well, I could see the guy, and I was like, he's a lot smaller than me, I can take him. If it really went like that.
If he was hench, would you have done it still?
If I was hench?
If he was
hench. To be fair, like, I've had instances where there's been big guys in doing injustices, and I'm quite lucky. My friends are very ride or die. So I've got involved and they've ended up getting involved. So it's kind of like one of those things. If I was on my own, if I was on my own though, that would have been things are tricky like that. If you know what I mean. If you have to weigh up your options, because I do agree that there are some instances you like, especially in like where we live. So in East London, it can be dodgy. Like anywhere in London, it can genuinely be like.
Don't y'all got like
risky.
some don't y'all got some stabbings out there?
Yeah.
You said you jumped in these scenarios, yeah? What if
Multiple
you see Kimbo
times.
Slice thumping up a girlfriend? What are you doing, bro? What's your instinct saying?
I mean, I like to imagine I could take a little bit. I could take probably a couple more hits to her. I don't think I could take that many more hits to her, but like, I think I could take 2 more good ones before she get her ass beat. Like, I mean, I guess my thing is like, huh?
And you would do that, yeah? You would take a few bangs from Kimbo to save this girl.
I mean, I would. I don't feel like I said. I mean, I also do that for another man if he getting his ass beat too. Like, I mean, it's not only stuck to women. It's more about the injustice, I could say.
Yeah,
because like I said,
I have to kind of agree with that. If the level of injustice is like, if I see someone getting beat down, I'm getting involved.
Yeah, like you've seen the videos where people getting beat up and they getting their fucking head stopped in. Like I've literally had to go and push somebody off. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Because it's one thing to fight, like I said, especially if you're two men. Like, I'm not gonna break up a man on man fight. You guys are grown men, do your thing. But now a man fighting a woman, or like someone beating someone who's already unconscious, that's where you gotta draw the line. Because now, like you said, you're bridging into a different territory, and that's why I asked that question. Like, I like in Ryan's situation, God forbid, say he didn't do anything, and then that woman had a situation where she got, she went through a heinous situation. Ryan would feel like shit if he realized he could have been that fucking that basically that barrier. All he had to do was, hey bro, stop, push him away, and create that distance so she can go away. If he didn't, then that would have been, like you said, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
So, what if now the thing that I don't like about these situations, you don't know the full story.
Well, they're very subjective.
That's what I'm
saying. They are super
like,
subjective. It's kind of an instinct thing. Like, because at the same time, yeah.
That girl could have stole my man's phone or something like that. I done man dirty.
But then he would.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking. Injustice,
Like, I think the only thing that triggered it for me is like the tone of her voice, where I was just like, nah, this doesn't run. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, it does. And don't get me wrong, right? The guy was constantly looking back, trying to get to her and stuff like this, and I was just like, mate, like, fucking leave it, go home, And like, it took like a good like minute for this guy to kind of realize that she's probably gone by now, so there's no point.
Exactly.
Like, and I mean, like, genuinely, I was confused because it seemed like a very weird situation. If it wasn't a weird situation, or if it was just a girl who was upset and she was drunk and she was kicking off, like, I've seen plenty of that, and I've not intervened. So it was just the tone of her voice when she was running. I was just like, nah, like, that ain't. It doesn't feel right to me.
I'll give a quick tale, like a quick tale of my youth, real quick, about like. I think why I was trying to think as you guys were talking. I was trying to think to myself, why does this feel like such a passionate, like, why is it so passionate to me? And I think back to prom night of my high school career, and I remember we went to a party, or whatever. It was prom night. People were getting faded and stuff like that. I'm starting to. I don't drink. I didn't drink at the time until I turned 21. So I'm DD. I'm taking people home, like making sure they're getting home safe. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. I'm taking people home. I come back. There's a girl I brought, and I brought my friend with me. So like, I already know they had a thing or whatever. Like, they kind of liked each other. But she's like plastered. I mean, like, she's gone, like cross-faded, high and drunk, like unconscious in someone's arm when I'll pull up to the house, bro. Unconscious. So when I come, my friend puts me to the side. He's like, "Yeah, man, you need to get her out of here." And I'm like, "Why? What happened?" Like I said, the guy who was like feeling or whatever like that. Like I said, don't get me wrong, she was like hella drunk, talking about, I need a dick in my hand, please put a dick in my hand. I need, like, that's how she's talking, like she's hella drunk like that.
Finished, okay.
But now my man's is trying to capitalize on the situation. Like, well, she's asking for it. It's like, whoa, and like,
yeah, that's
dead ass. Like, everybody's like intervene in that situation, because like everybody knows like they have a thing, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like, bro, no. Like, no, we're not about to do that. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like obviously, like, if they knew that was about to happen, and they're like, oh, they like each other, whatever, and they let that shit happen, and then like like you see with the Cosbys and all that, 5 years down the line, I realized I didn't really want that in that moment. He took that shit from me. It's like, I'm sick. I feel like everybody who was at that party enabled that shit, who knew about it. But that's why we also did our part. Like, nah, bro, if you can do that, wait till she's sober up. If she really wants you, you guys can do it when you guys sober up. So like, I think that's why I feel like that thing is so passionate to me, because it's not like you said, the backstory is like, obviously they like each other, whatever, but it's about, no, this isn't the time and place for that.
Something like that happened recently, not to that extent, and I just remembered, actually, it was last year sometime. There was this one guy, and we was all at my friend's house, and he was all over this girl, like catching wires, whatever, and I'm waved as well, and he was like on her, not like mad touchy, but he kept wanting to whine with her. What do you call it in America? You call it whine as well? Grind? I don't know.
Grind on her? Yuck. Yeah.
Like
whining and grinding.
Up
You know
on
what I
the
mean?
floor.
So now, later on, I find out she was not happy with it. She was
Yeah.
rather pissed, and a couple man had to grab him up and say, "Relax." And then she was like, she said to me, because I said to her, "I can't lie, I didn't know you was enjoying it because when I saw you, you seemed to be alright." She goes, "At first she was, but he was just doing it a bit too much, and he wouldn't leave her alone, and that's when it became a problem." Then I felt bad because I was thinking, I thought she was calm with it, based on the fact that she did say she was calm with it at first, didn't it? And obviously I wasn't around all the time. So I was just must have liquid things. I felt bad. I was thinking, yo,
Well,
I technically allowed that to happen, but I was none the wiser. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking, should I have been more wiser? I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's tough.
It's situational because you were super drunk as well, and like
I was drunk,
there-
but I was
there-
aware
there
in
were
it,
other-
like aware of
there
my
were-
thing.
there were other people there as well who intervened and stuff. Like I think it's an awareness thing, firstly, and I don't know how well you knew this girl.
I didn't know any of them. I met them both that day from.
because that can change things too, right? Because if you don't have a backstory, a lot of the time it can be difficult to identify, especially in that kind of situation where you've seen something where she seems like she's okay, and your first instinct is she looks like she's okay, so you're naturally not gonna intervene,
Exactly.
and you might not know someone's tales and stuff like that just through like an instinct of first seeing them. A lot of people don't have that skill of reading body language like that. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you don't have that. I'm just saying like that's a general point.
I just always
People-
feel like there should be a check sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
you
like you
can
walk over
check.
there, like, hey, is everything good over here? What's going on?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Oh no.
I want to ask you another question.
Go ahead.
Alright, you're walking down the road here, and this guy is beating up this girl,
Oh my
and you're about to
gosh.
intervene. You're about to intervene, yeah, and you realize, yo, she's coming back in this fight, and she's delivering some blows, like, and now it's a bit equal. Are you still jumping in? Are you gonna break it up?
I'm breaking it
Oh,
up. I
I'm
can't
still
lie.
breaking it up, man.
Now it's
Yeah.
50-50. Like she's swinging back. He's
It's
swinging.
never
She
50-50.
might
Fam,
even
are you,
have the
are you
upper
gonna
hand.
get your microphone out and start commentating on it or some shit, fam?
It's like, bro, she started to win. Now he's gonna break it up.
So like, let me
Going, yo, this makes a banging YouTube fucking video. Yeah.
so let me ask you this.
I react.
Let me ask you this. The guy's like 5'10" on a good day, and the girl's like a WNBA player, like 6 foot. Is that an equal fight?
I can't lie to you. Gender
Probably
makes
not.
no odds in my mind, right? If I know some girls that
She.
slap up their mind. They can slap up their man, fam. I don't don't get me wrong, right? I mean that in the sense of if there's a guy and a girl fighting, I'm getting involved. If there's a guy and a guy fighting, I'm still getting involved. I mean it in that sense. I'm not saying that
If
it
there's a
doesn't make
girl
any
and a girl.
difference.
I feel like
A girl and a girl, I'm still getting involved, fam.
I feel like if it's a girl and a girl and a guy, I will only get involved if it's going too far.
It's
like-
going too far. Yeah, exactly.
Cause that's where
Situation-
context is really sketchy. Cause
Yeah.
like I said, if some guy just fucking shoulder checked the fuck out of you, and now you guys are tussling, I'm over here trying to break it up. Like Sly said, he's about to sleep me, bro. Cause hold on, I'm trying to get my revenge. Ah.
I had so we've had fucking some of the nights out I've been on with like my friends' birthdays and stuff. There was this girl who got super duper drunk and she was very rowdy. Like, and what I mean by that is she would start a fight on anyone she didn't care. She would get her ass beat. She would get her ass beat, but she didn't care. And I'm there trying to fucking make sure that she gets home okay. And she goes into this club and she starts like mashing through people's shit trying to find her bag. And she's like, I've lost my bag, don't know where it is. And she's like picking people's stuff up. Obviously, people are gonna get pissed at that, right? And this one guy turns around and he's like, hey bitch, don't do that. And she turned around and she don't take kindly to being called a bitch, right? And so she's turned around and she's like, who you calling a bitch, you little man? And then she like tosses her drink in this guy's face. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay.
WWE.
Literally, I'm sitting, I'm like, shit's real.
Like
fam.
so Carl said, world star.
Yeah, trust me. So then I've gone in there and I've like grabbed this girl. So she's my mate. I've grabbed her from like I'm behind her. I've grabbed both her arms and like held them to her waist, and I've turned her around so she's just like standing up. You know when like someone gets picked up and they're like kicking. So she's sitting there just kicking shit, And I've like turned her around, and I'm getting splashed with all of these drinks from all of these guys who are now fucking retaliating, and like they're coming up and they're like pushing me and shit, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like,
That'd be the last time you go out with her, fam. I'm sorry.
I didn't go out with that group ever again, fam. I was just like, yo, this isn't anything. This isn't anything I want to be involved in. And I've literally walked her out the club. These guys are still trying to fight and stuff. And then I've put her down, turned around, and I'm like, yo, like, fucking relax, fam. You guys are drunk, she's drunk, chill. And put her in an Uber, got her home. Bro, I hated it. I fucking hated it.
To go down this idea of this stream of consciousness to test your guys' morals, I want to ask you a question. So I'm gonna tell a story and then follow up with a question. There was this situation where there was this woman. She was a cool woman at first. Turn to find out she's a shithead. She comes into the party, and like I said, it was like one of those, like, after the turn up, like the cool down, you know, we're all faded, we're home now, we're safe, and everybody's just trying to sober up so they can fucking go to sleep, basically. She comes over, and you could tell she's had more drink than everybody else. She's like walking around, and my friend, rest in peace to dead, Be Nice, was outside. And she's hella sloppy drunk. She steps on his shoes. Like, she has like no shoes on. She has like feet. She's just bare feet. And she's like stepping all like big ass, like the heel, like the palm of her fucking foot on his shoe. Like, and he's like, damn, he's like, damn, what the hell? You hella drunk, stepping on my shoes. And she goes, what you say? Don't talk to me like that. And slaps him. Now, she has a boyfriend. He literally gets hella mad. He literally walks to her boyfriend and goes, you need to get her the fuck out of here or I'm gonna beat your ass. And the guy, and then the guy goes, I think we should go. And he starts to like round her up and blah, 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 whatever. But like, the question for me on that is, do you feel like that's fair? Okay, your girl disrespected me and I can't fight her. But you gotta take this ass whooping you either gotta take this ass whooping or get her the fuck out of here. Do you feel like that's fair?
Alright, first of all, yeah. What color were your shoes? Were they white?
Bro, it was some like nice ass shoes, bro. I think they were orange actually.
So white Air Forces, yeah, you should have dropped both of them. But I'm joking. I think, yeah, you would have to have stern words with your girl, because I understand the other guys, his moves. I understand his reaction to it. He's vexed. And clearly he wants to take this anger out, and some people want to take it out on other people, and obviously he can't punch up the gal, so he's gone to the other half. I kind of think that's a fair, considering she slapped him, that's a fair reaction. So if that was me, I'm not trying to fight the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm having stern words with my girl saying, don't do that shit again.
So
we can't go out if you're doing that shit.
So let me ask you this. If, like I said, say that situation happens and he didn't ask the question. He just looked at you as her boyfriend and just start fighting you. Do you feel like that's that's a fair reaction? Do you feel like that's deserving?
No. You don't have to respond with violence. You don't have to, innit? The way he's moved seemed like he's just gone and done it. Like, why didn't you slap the guy?
I think the thing is, right, yeah, is so I've actually been in a situation where a guy's girlfriend has tried to slap me, and I've grabbed her hand. So I didn't do anything, right? She was hella drunk, and she told me to drink a drink in her cup, and I was just like, nah. I was like, I don't want to drink, I'm waved. So then she slapped me, and then she went to do it again, and I grabbed her hand and I pushed her off, and I was like, if you touch me, I was like, I swear to fuck. I was like, don't ever touch me again, you fucking bitch. And then this guy who's her man, this guy was wham. Yeah, he was like first team rugby player, yeah, for our university. And he's come in, he was 24 at the time, I was 20. And he's come in and he's like, did you touch my girl? I'm like, your bitch touched me and I told your bitch not to do it again. I was like, so if you want to fucking start, bro, I was like, let's go. And he was like, yo, if you ever do that, she's crying now, fam. Like, how the fuck? Why are you getting
That's
so
just
involved?
stupid.
You should have beat him to a fucking pulp, bro.
I'm like this in his face, and I was like, don't even try. I was like, I will fuck you up. And he was like, yeah, okay then, man. Okay, you're a big man. And I was like, I will fuck you up. And I think just the level of confidence that I said it with made him go, maybe, yeah, he actually might.
You know that rage drive beside you, yeah.
I mean, like, my eyes must have gone, relax. My eyes must have gone. I was so fucking angry. And there was a girl that I was talking to at the time who was at the party. She was the reason I was there. And she's like trying to get in the way. And I'm literally like, I've got my hand on her shoulder, just like arm's length away from me. And I'm sitting, I'm like, I will fuck you up. Like, to this guy. And I'm like, do not even try it with me. I was like, I will fuck you up. And he was, honestly, just my face was, I was so enraged. I couldn't deal with it. The adrenaline was going nuts.
I was just about to ask about that.
Oh, bro, like when I get into it, yeah, my adrenaline goes through the roof because I will protect my people to the end of the earth. Do you know what I mean? Like, if one of my boys did something that like started a fight, I would back my boy and then give him grief. Like, I would be the first one in there, being like, I'm here 100%, but then like me and you were chatting, kind of thing. But in that situation, fam, I mean, like, I was shaking. I was so fucking ready to go. I was like, I'm about to get fucking into this. Like,
fam, if your girl is moving mad like that and you're there saying, don't touch her, you are an idiot.
He was a fucking idiot though, and he wasn't even there though, so he didn't even see it. I was like, your bitch.
Bro,
just
she's
slapped
crying.
me. I was like, tell your bitch that she touches me again, it's done. I was like, we are done.
That brings up so much rage in me. I'll try to fight him in a different form. Like, I'll try to kick him. I'll be so mad, yeah. I'll be trying different moves in my head. I'm thinking, yo, this guy needs punishment.
This guy needs an MMA kick to the neck, right in the jugular.
A triple split into his temple.
I mean, like, I mean, after the fact, yeah. So I've walked out the building, and I'm still screaming at this guy through the window, and I didn't know he had a bunch of his boys at the entrance to the flat, and I'm throwing all types of cusses at this guy, and then his friends are then trying to come up to me, and they're like, are you saying you're gonna fuck him up? I was like, I will. I was like, I'll fuck all of you up. I mean, I got so enraged at this point. I was like, I'll take on a whole army right now, fam. Fucking come for me, like. And then I just ended up getting myself in more shit. But the point is that, like, if your girl touches me, and then I've then grabbed her hand and pushed her off me, I have every right to do whatever the hell I want at this point in my mind. Because I'm like, yo, I've already been mashed in the face, and I'm now just defending myself. I'm not reacting. I verbally told her she's a bitch, but like, I wasn't going for her. Do you know what I mean? Like,
justified?
Yeah, because she's swung again. Like,
That sounds like misogyny.
I think the point was, I was not having.
Having it.
Like, if you hit me once and I can't come back at you, and then you go for it again, I think you've devoided all your rights to a free pass here. Like, you've
just turned yourself into mashed potatoes.
100%.
What are you saying, Uzi? What are you doing? You asked the question, so we're gonna reflect it back. What's your take on it?
Like I said, my friend is I think my friend did the right decision 100%. Like I said, instead of just wailing on him, the fact that he went up to him was like, you need to get your bitch out of here, or I'm gonna beat your ass. And I was like, wait, I remember in my head sitting there watching it go down. I was like, that's the hardest shit I've ever heard in my life. And like, if you ever see someone so mad that they're calm, that's when I knew it was like bad. Like, cause he literally, like, I remember we heard the slap, we looked at the patio, and we see him get up, hella calm, walked up to him, was like, you need to get your bitch before I slap. He's like, you need to get your bitch before I beat your ass. And I remember, like, he walks into the room, he's like, nah, she got me fucked up. And I remember this the dude sitting there shaking his head up and down, just going, you know what? I think it's time for us to go. Like, that man was fucking scared for his life, because, like, my man B Nice was probably like 6 foot, probably like 6'1", 6'2", and this guy was like, "This is a short Hispanic guy, bruh." I'm like, bro, you're about to get your ass. What? And on top of it, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. She was already like a nuisance of the party, so he would have got jumped just because everybody was already fed up with her.
I can't even front yet. If I had my people at that party, it would have been really bad.
Oh no,
like,
we
really
definitely had to make sure he get the fuck. And like on top of that, she was walking. So she leaves. She's escorted. And we're on the top floor, and you have to walk out to the street. She's crossing the street, and she's still talking down there. He's like, so he's on the patio. He said, "Yeah, bitch, take your ass home with your sloppy drunk ass." It's going in on her. Look at you, can't even walk straight. Drunk bitch is going in on her. She you know everybody's favorite word because he's a black dude. You're just acting like a Nigger. He said, "Wait, what?" So now everybody in the building is minorities. Yeah. Everybody is triggered. We're like, yeah, we're coming downstairs. I don't care. I got something in the glove box. Oh yeah. Now we're all coming downstairs. We're still, bro.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
And then the funniest part, bro, she tried to switch the script. We get down. It's like 8 people deep on the corner. Like, you can't catch all of us. We're standing there. The boyfriend's driving, of course. He drives up and he rolls out the window. We're like, "What's up, bro? What's up? You got something in the glove box? What's up?" She talking about, "You guys were making fun of me first, blah, blah, blah." Like, starts trying to act like a victim, was getting emotional. I was like, nah, no way. The world is wild.
I hate that. You see, I don't want to get too political in it, but when you see in the news or something like that where someone's being mad aggressive and they get a box in their face and then they want to play victim. Oh, they punched me. Officer, still called the police. You got what you deserved. Come out here.
I can't even front, yeah. I can't even imagine having someone say to me, "I've got something in the glove box." Can you imagine that, Dance? If that was in the UK, I mean, like, genuinely, if someone in the UK said that, I'm fucking out. I am gone. Because I know that in the UK, they're probably going to use it. In the US, I feel it's a different thing because it's more common and it's more of like I imagine that's more of
it's more of a cautionary tale.
Yeah, like
it's true, fam. Because if you got like a file or somebody in America,
but I'm telling you, if someone in London tells you, "I've got something in the glove box," or like, "I've got a strap," I'm fucking gone. Because I'm believing that shit, fam. I am 100% believing that. They're rare, and they're gonna say it with their chest, fam. Which means that's a dead end zone, bro. That's a dead end zone. I'm out.
To be fair, that night,
if it's a drunk girl saying it, I probably won't believe it.
If it's a drunk girl, calm. Yeah, no. But if like, you can read a personnel, and if my guy's turned around with his chest and he's going, "I've got a strap."
Yeah, if a guy says with his chest, I can't lie. I'm not even if a girl comes, say, "I got something in the glove box," I'm busting
shit.
I'm talking about tampon or some shit. Like, what?
He don't even got it.
My face up.
He don't even gotta say nothing, bro. He's gotta tap the waistband a couple times. I'm like, hey, hold on now.
Up a little bit, like, yo.
Yeah.
Now listen. Go home as well.
See, in London, it would probably be like the equivalent of like a kitchen knife. That would scare the shit out of me as well. I can't
really.
Lie to you.
A knife will fuck you up.
No, that's what I'm saying. That would scare the shit out of me. Like, you don't understand how common that is here. That is like.
That's what I said. The stabbings.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And I'm not saying that just because there's a lot of stabbings. Like, in the UK in general, there's a lot of stabbings. But like, because there's no guns and stuff, kids tend to have. They see it as a form of protection over anything else. They would rather have one and not use it than not have one.
Since we went down this
school with knives, it's crazy.
Since we went down this like,
I get stabbed at school.
Since we went down this like thought path, bro, let me ask you one last question. Then we can go to something different. Do you believe there's a such thing as a fair fight when it comes to street fighting?
If there's no weapons,
how do you know someone has a weapon?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think so. I've actually seen one of my friends' friends got in a fight outside a club, and he was 6'7", and I mean, like, he was 21 stone. I don't know what that is in kg. This guy was fucking massive. I'm talking like over 120 kg, over 100, maybe even like 130 kg. I don't know.
Muscle?
He was fucking no. He was like
That's
a lot of
blondie.
it was muscle. He played NFL. He was a defensive end, I think.
Okay.
And he was just a fucking unit, an absolute unit. And this guy tried to get with his cousin, and his cousin, I think, was kind of like being a bit of a dickhead, and she said some shit, and the guy said some shit. He turns around, I shit you not. He's like, I will fuck you up. He's like, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. And they're both like kind of talking. My guy is so big, picked him up and threw him into the road. Like oncoming traffic, threw him into the road and was just like, and then ran into the road and started like pummeling him. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. And when I tell you there's nothing you can do to get in the way of this Don, like it took 7 of these guys to pull him like back. It was crazy.
Damn.
Like
You're
absolutely wild. Dude, like he was. I mean, genuinely, he's the biggest guy I've ever seen. He lived with me in second year, fam. He broke like 4 of our chairs just by sitting on them.
Oh shit.
Crazy. Yeah, mad.
That's a big man.
So do you feel like there's a fair fight when it comes to these streets, or is it just WWE like fucking garage and car fight? When you're in the garage, you just pick up anything goes. There's a fucking soda can half full. I'm smacking you in the noggin with the soda can to mess you up.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I think like if you're both in the environment and you both have access to it, it's just a fair fight, fam. Like because this could be life or death, bro. Like you're not even thinking about, I can't even use the brick. It's banned. A brick ain't banned, bro. If you're in a street fight, ain't nothing banned, fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like,
hey, Bruss,
if
against
it's
the
there
rules.
for
What the
both
fuck you doing?
you know what I mean? Like, yo, tap out, man, tap. You know what it reminds me of? You know, remember Friday?
In the nuts, bro.
Yeah.
None of that.
No fake chats. You know, Friday, yeah. When Craig, you seen Friday, innit, Woozy? I know you definitely have seen Friday.
Of course.
You see Friday, right?
Nah.
Rest in peace, Debo. But
Sheesh.
yeah, I know. So in Friday, yeah, he has beef with this guy Debo. He's like the street bully, innit? If he comes riding around the street, you gotta put your chain away. That's it, you gotta put everything away, innit? So Debo must have slapped one girl, innit? And he was gonna go fight him. So he got a gun. And his dad, rest in peace, John Witherspoon, told him he got to fight like a man. So I'm thinking, rah, they're gonna have like a fist fight. But mid-fight, he pulled out a brick off the wall and bricked him. And that was deemed a fair fight. Because technically, Debo could have grabbed the flipping brick as well. It was like, it's part of the environment, it was part of the map.
It's part of the map. It's part of the map. Damn, this map hella interactive. Hold on, that's a brick.
Oh shit, it's part of the map.
Use this.
I'm gonna keep it a bean though. If I'm 6'2", if I see any motherfucker taller than me, bruh, trying to fight me, and I know he's yoked, I gotta use a weapon, bro. I don't have the ability to fucking either that. Or I'm taking your knees out, bro. I gotta injure you. I gotta bring you down to my level, bro. If you're 7 foot, I'm sweeping them feet. Something gotta happen, bro. I gotta get you on the ground where we're even.
Yeah. Like I think as well, like there's a level of decency in that kind of thing
100%.
where you pick it up and you kind of show that you have intent. Do you know what I mean? Before you don't just pick up and swing. Like you're gonna pick up and you're gonna be like, I'm
You
here.
see
for
it?
it.
No, you
Yeah,
give
like-
him the decision if he wants to continue. Like, if you,
Like,
I got this brick
keep
now.
doing
You
that.
wanna keep going?
It's the same as like, because I think this is where it stops you from being like,
You don't
you're
need
in a
bricks when
fair
you throw
fight,
bricks.
but you're just a fucking pussy. Because I'm sitting there and I'm going like, if my guy gets his knife out of his pocket and just stabs me without me even knowing that the guy's got a knife, he's a pussy in my opinion. If he stands there and he gets his knife out and he's like, I'm a fucking shank you, and I still go for it, then that's fair because I've engaged that.
Yeah, you sure you want to
Like,
do this?
yeah, exactly. Like I want some. If you are given like a prior warning that there's intent shown beforehand, I think that's fair. If my guy's
That's
a
fair.
pussy and is just kind of standing there with like his hand in his pocket, walks up and shanks you, you're a dickhead. Like you're a fucking dickhead.
100%.
Is
You
how
pull out
I
the knife and you pull out the contract. Do you want to continue? Sign your name in.
continue.
Like it's a street fight, innit? Like street fights, it cannot ever be like fair. You can't have the same weight, the same experience. But that's what I want to learn martial arts.
Gotta
Because if
carry
any
that
nigga try to
weight.
pull up on me, my hands and feet are weapons. That's not going to be a fair fight. But it's on the
At
streets.
all.
It's fair. I'm gonna whoop your ass because I know how to do it.
Mm.
So on the street, I think it's all fair.
I've been waiting my whole life for this moment to use this Muay Thai to knock your fucking head off your shoulders.
Bro, if I could do that, if someone tried to fight me, I just, you know, in anime where they lift up the glasses a little bit. You sure you want to do this?
You know the best thing about it is like Darnell would have like a fucking dirty smile on his face whilst he's doing it as well.
like that Mob Psycho when that dude looks hella fucking.
100%.
He looks hella fucking like dopey, but he fucking starts beating people's ass and shit. Like what? But
okay, guys,
to go into the,
we're on 124. Let's move. Go for it.
I would say, I think a good one to talk about. Just to stay in like kind of like in the same like atmosphere is about adult blind spots. So are you guys like familiar with adult blind spots are? I think I've talked about it before.
No.
You mentioned it before.
So like adult
Explain it for us.
blind spots are like things that as an adult you should know, but for some reason you just don't know. So example, like knowing northeast, southwest. Like, you know, some people, I'm you know what, personally, I'm terrible at fucking dividing on the fucking dome, bro. I cannot do quick division at all. Multiplication is my shit. Addition, subtraction, easy. Division, you'll have me stumped. So I would say, what's some blind spots in chat? Also get involved in this. What's some blind spots in your life where you feel like you're just lacking as an adult, as a mature adult?
Oh, the thing is, yeah, I know the answer, but I can't bring it to my head. Because I remember you mentioned this a couple weeks ago, and I thought of some. But right now, I can't actually think. The north, south, east, west, I still go never eat shredded wheat and do that.
Yeah.
Or left and right, I still hold up my L. I still do that.
Do you actually do that?
Yeah, if I know left and right, so I go, okay, left. Because like for this hand, it's a L and this one. It's not.
This guy
Oh,
Moses,
man.
I'm a king.
Mine's
I
just
always do.
instinctive. Like I can even do the
Nah.
reverse. Like I can read upside down and stuff.
I still do left, man. I throw out them L's, man.
You know,
fair,
Leighton,
that's fair.
Leighton Stone.
To this
think-
day,
I think-
bro,
Go on.
I still don't know my northeast, south, and west.
I couldn't find
Really?
it in the sky. I would struggle.
No, I'm talking about like when
Never
someone's
eat
like
shredded
go.
wheat.
Well, I know that, but I'm talking about like, you know, someone's like, okay, go this street, go east on this street, go north on this street.
Oh.
When people start talking like that, I'm like, oh hell no! What the fuck
That-
are you
that-
talking
that-
about?
That's a very
That's a Boy
American
Scout
thing.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's
like
a Boy Scout.
in
They
the UK,
confiscate
it's go right here, go left
What's
there.
the left?
Ain't gonna be like go north on eastbound 42 or whatever. Like nah,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, because America use quite a lot of north and stuff in it. Like,
yeah,
I
they
fucking
do.
hate it.
And to be fair though, in America, your roads are very straight. Like they just have intersections.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all they are.
Oh, yours
Whilst
is
in the
windy.
UK, because it's so like wavy, you're not gonna know what the fuck way is north, south, east, or west. Like low key. So I can appreciate that. In America, it's more important, but here it's completely useless.
So Cal said, I wish I was more handy and less of a boomer. So you got like something like that. Like I guess that would be considered like as you get older, you should be able to know your way around some regular tools. Can you guys handle yourself around some like regular tools, like a saw and all that?
yeah, my dad's a carpenter, so. Like,
Oh,
a lot of jobs he's
shit.
done. So like the screwdrivers and all that. They're getting out hand now with saw skill saw and all them, but I can use a drill. Saws are a bit. They need to get the right angle. I can use that fairly okay.
Y'all hear that, ladies?
Like,
My man's over here campaigning, bro. We got a carpenter, bro. You want your carpet put in, bro? We got you. You want to do some drywall work? We got you. Slide. What the look? He take the robe off and everything. Look at him. This is a Tinder profile now. Look at him. Got the chain on. Oh shit.
Chains.
yeah, I used to work on cars with my dad, and like I can make like desks and shit. Like so that's all kind of calm for me. I'm shit at so if there's one thing I'm bad at, it's spelling. I'm awful at spelling.
Oh, that's
So
everybody.
if someone turns around to me and is like, I need you to write this in freeform handwriting, my handwriting's trash and I can't spell.
I'll say this too. I feel like my fucking grammar, bro, I still struggle with there. I'm like, I ask myself all the time, is it there or there? Is it IR or is it RE? Which one is it? I sit there like, I had to like read the sentence multiple times like, it's over there. Okay, I gotta use this one. And like, no, that's their sandwich.
So like that's the way to do that though, isn't it? Because I have the they are, so they are together, and then I have the it's over there, and you can't touch that. That's theirs.
Exactly.
Based on that, I have, for one, spelling is one of them, but it's because I don't bother reading or saying the word. Do you ever come across a word, you know the word, but you don't actually try and say the word or try and spell it, but you just know it? I know it sounds really, really weird.
Like epiphany?
But epiphany. So maybe something like epiphany. You'll say epiphany, but you don't know how to spell it. It's just like you just
EPHINY.
Yeah.
I would have tried to put an E in there somewhere. Was it epiphany or epiphany?
Epiphany.
This is it, right? This is what I suck at.
Yeah. If it's not phonetic, I don't want it.
I know exactly what it means, and I can use it. I just don't know how to fucking spell it.
So that's like me, but on written form. I'll read a word, but I won't actually read it properly, try and sound it out or anything like that, or try and I just know of the word. And some people have said something, I'm just like, what are you on about? Oh, that's how you say it. And they'll be spelling, that's how you spell it. Like, yo.
Or like epitome. EPITOME. Yeah. Epitome. Yeah. That's how you spell it. And like when you look at that word, I'm like, what the fuck? Epitome? What the fuck does that mean? And they like, nah, fool, epitome. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, yeah, I know what that word is, but I've never seen this on paper before.
I think the main thing that I would struggle with that is genuinely like I'll have a sentence in my brain and I'll be there, and then I'll get stuck on a word and I'll just be like, I know what word I want to say. I genuinely have no idea how to spell it. And you know it's really bad when the fucking autocorrect is like, no idea what the fuck you mean, bro.
Yeah, for real. You gotta start deleting stuff.
I'm like, well, I don't fucking know how to spell it.
Autocorrect doesn't save you. You know you fucked up now.
You know that happens like every other day for me. I genuinely suck at spelling.
I still suck at spelling restaurants sometimes.
Oh, me too.
I confirm that.
You know how long it took me to learn how to spell? Because big elephants can always understand small elephants.
Whoa! I spell because faithfully.
I can do it now. But I mean, like, this was when I was younger, yeah? I actually had to learn, like, a fucking rhythm for this shit. You know how you spell went with a H?
Why?
Because that used to be, because went. I'd be like, went. Like, when with a T.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
no.
But this was when I was little, right? Like, this isn't now. But, like, this was when I was really little, when I was learning to spell. I never picked it up. I never got good at it.
Bro, I remember one time I was trying to mac at this girl. Oh, my bad. You saying something? Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say the English language in general is just confusing for me. It's just so
homophones, bro. Them homophones. I remember I was trying to mac at this girl one time, and I remember I feel like such a dickhead because I was like macking at her, and I said something like that don't make no sense, and I spelt it SINCE.
SIN.
I said I said that don't make no sense, and I was like. I'm like looking at them. I'm like looking like there's something's fucking off about this fucking word, bro. I know I'm using it right, and then she fucking roasted me. She's like, "You mean SENSE?" I'm like, "Oh my god, bro, I'm an idiot."
I'm exactly the same.
I'm an idiot. I was just typing it hella fast. I wasn't thinking about it.
I love what Moses put. If autocorrect can't spell it, I'm changing my word.
No, dead ass.
Straight
100%.
You know how many long-winded messages I've sent because I can't find out that one fucking word that can sum it up?
Yeah. Bro, I can't lie. If I can't find it, I spell it how I want. There's so many ways. There's with my ex as well. She used to laugh at me because some shit I used to say was so dumb. Like I didn't know how to pronounce it properly, so I just made it up as I went along. And I'll say something, she'd be like there's a shop, right? You know the shop. What's the French thing?
Major.
I called it Pret Manja, fam. I can't even lie. So we walked past. Have you been Pret Manja? She was just like, so it says Manja up there.
So it's very French. It's like Pret et Manga or some shit like that, right? That's how you say it. But like, we just call it Pret because no one can say the next bit.
It's Manja, fam. I'm gonna say it like Manja.
Bruh, I remember when I was learning French, bruh, saying vous allez-vous coucher avec moi, like learning that, like vous allez, you're like, I was just like,
You fucked that up so bad, you know.
did I say it? Vous allez-vous coucher avec moi, mademoiselle? Is that how you say it?
Voulez-vous-
Oh yeah, see, I keep saying the vous allez. So that's the problem. I always say the fucking LEZ part, and that shit throws me every time. I'm like, bro.
It's voulez-vous avec moi ce soir?
I still don't know what that means.
So it means, can I?
You want to sleep with me tonight?
That's the only phrase I need to know, baby. That's all I need to know, baby. That's all I need to know, baby.
Bro, we need to talk about some of these. Okay, not now, innit? But we need to talk about some of these old school songs that were dirty. He didn't know about.
If you
because
want
some of
it,
these lyrics
let's
are
do it.
crazy.
Oh man,
Ride it, my pony,
pony,
my saddle's waiting. Comment, jump on it. I used to know the lyrics to that song faithfully as a kid. I got older, I said, hold the fuck up. Y'all nasty.
Like apparently, you know Beyonce's song "Ego." Apparently, that's not about your head.
Yeah, it's about
Apparently,
his
that's about
ego.
something else.
It's about his
Such
ego.
a big ego. Apparently, that's not about man's ego. Apparently, it's about something else. I don't know. But
Most have said "Whistle" by Flow Rider. Never knew he wanted hit.
How the hell did you not know he was?
But
You just
so
think he said it, he's going, 1 sec, guys. I've got this whistle. Can you blow it for me?
blow the whistle.
Can you imagine? He's just like, can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby.
If you kind of think about it, it does look like a whistle.
fam.
Flow Rider just comes out with an IRL whistle. Like, yeah. Can you blow it for me, yeah? I like the way you blow it.
But I was gonna ask you guys to flip that topic on its head. Then is there anything you learned like in your like developmental years, like high school and all that, or like you learn something in school and you're like, how would I fucking apply this in life? You ever have a moment where you're like the shit actually works out, you have to apply it in life, you're like, man, they just blessed the fuck out of me.
Give me an example. You go first, because
Me?
I'm gonna say no.
Shit, I fucking just ounce to fucking like conversion of simple stuff like cups to gallon to quarts to ounces. The other day I was making something and I was like cooking in the kitchen. I'm like, bro, this shit says 64 ounces. So like, I'm like, how many ounces in the cup? And I had to do like the whole fucking math in my noggin before worst case scenario, I asked Alexa, hey Alexa, just do the conversion for me. But I'm like, let me do it myself. And like, to me, I was like, damn, that's tight. Cause if I did learn that, I would have been fucking ass out. Metric game, yucky.
I feel like I liked physics in it, so even to this day, there's a lot of stuff in physics I remember that I always think about and try to apply, even if it's like little handiwork stuff, like knowing about a lever and all that and having leverage and shit, like little stuff like that. I still remember. It's not that mathematical, but
Do you
still
remember?
applying that sort of thing.
Do you remember all the simple
action
machines?
does it Pardon? Sorry.
Do you guys remember all your simple machines?
Or simple
Fucking
machines.
What? The simple machine. He just named them. Oh no! Are you guys' brain scrambled?
Different terminology.
You're in a different country, fam. In life.
Lever, wedge, pulley.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we know them.
Yeah, those are called simple machines.
Never called them that.
What do you call them?
Machines.
Lever, wedge,
Pulley.
Machines.
Oh, we call it mechanic. That's technically mechanics, but you don't really hear that word until you do it later on. Like A level, they'll do mechanics, and that's all about the forces and pulleys.
Like
and
I think like every action has its equal opposite reaction. I remember science used to blow my fucking brain, fam. Some of the shit that we'd learn in there, bro, I'd be like, holy fuck. I'd be like, that is cool.
Condensation.
Surprisingly, some people don't know about all that. Like, I saw one video, and I think Mo was there. And there was a truck driving at say 50 miles per hour, and it shot a ball backwards at 50 miles per hour, and obviously it's gonna stay stationary. It's just gonna drop straight.
Yeah.
But was speaking to someone and they were like, no, it would fly backwards. And to me, it's like common knowledge. I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, that's
With what
that's
force
usual.
is it going to fly backwards?
That's what I'm saying, but they don't actually know that. And I spotted a movie. There's a movies with Damien Wayans, or one of the Wayans brothers, and he hopped out the ambulance while it was moving, and he just rolled forward like it was normal. And I was thinking, that don't make sense. And I was thinking, I was with my ex at the time, and she was like, yeah, it does. I was like, no. So little stuff like that where I can spot where, yeah, these men are fucked up physics. I learned that from school, and I'm proud of that shit.
You ever watch American Dragon?
Yeah.
So there was a cartoon called American Dragon. Basically, this guy is like the dragon of America, and he turns into a dragon. Like, it's a cartoon on Disney.
Wow, what a
And
fucking plot.
I remember learning about the physics of if so there was like a fortune teller or some shit who was like, you're gonna get hit by a rock moving at 100 miles an hour. And what they didn't tell you is, so then the whole thing was about fantasizing about what's gonna happen in the future and all this shit. And he turns into the dragon and he's flying at 101 mile an hour and the rock hits him. And everyone's like, but how didn't he die? How didn't he die? Whoa. And he's like, well, and then they pull like a thing down and they're obviously like educating. And they're like, the dragon was flying at 101 mile an hour and the rock hit him at 100 mile an hour. Therefore, it only hit him at 1 mile an hour, which was like the equivalent of like a feather touching him. And everyone, and instead of everyone, in that moment was like, oh shit.
That's why I can't watch these superhero cartoons, because you know when someone's falling off the building.
Oh
and
no!
I'm like, bitch is dead. Her neck, her back is snapped in half.
Hey,
Because he has to fly, match her speed and slow it. If he catches her like that, she's dead.
Yeah,
you about
no,
to trigger everybody right now, bro, because that's why people get mad about Spider-Man, bro. When he fucking, was it Gwen Stacy? When he's about to save her fucking life and shoots the fucking web, and the fall fucking snaps her neck, bro. What the fuck? I was like, what kind of fucking storybook ending is this?
Yeah, no, 100%.
I remember watching that movie. I watched the movie distraught. I said, he shot the web. I'm like, hey, she's alive. You saw her fucking slumped.
But that's true though. Like when Spider-Man comes in and he does the swing, when he does the swing and he catches them in like midair, that's breaking shit, fam. On both parts, that's breaking a lot of shit. That's like a truck hitting you. It's like if you're diving into water, and you're going at 15 mile an hour or whatever, bro. You're gonna break shit unless you're like streamlined. You are going to break shit. There's no other way about it.
Shout out to Mythbusters.
There's one anime I like called Darker Than Black. I like it because it's so grounded and realistic. This guy has super speed. He has no protection. So he starts using his power, but it's raining like proper hard. But he's running so fast that these rain droplets are now like bullets to him. And he tries to run through this little shower thing, and you see his body drop up on the floor, and he's got bare holes in his body, where he just runs so fast into the water, it's just gone straight through him. I was like, it's smart.
That's true. That's true.
That was honorable death.
Can you imagine though, even like the speed of the air resistance, like that's why like cars are like race cars are highly aerodynamic. It's because they have to hit the air at that pace, and obviously air is like, don't get me wrong, it's not like crazy drag back against you. That's why airplanes can go higher up and they have less oxygen to deal with, or less air compression to deal with. But if you're at that level and you're going that speed, air is like a rock essentially that you're running through.
It's like,
yeah, that's some shit like people don't quite grasp.
I wanna
go ahead.
Go on.
And I was saying I was learning about that too, like talking about aerodynamics and shit. And I was learning like you said, there's like, so the ground speed record, I can't remember what it is, but it hasn't been beaten because there's only so fast a car can go before it, like I said, it starts really counteracting with air, but also where the tires can't even fucking like grip the ground anymore because it's going so fast. Like the science behind that shit's like kind of scary.
I actually like, can we just like, so there's things that genuinely make me stop in life and go, how the fuck? And there are two things that recently came to my mind. One is, can you imagine being like a 1980s human, right? Let's say you were like teenage years in the 80s, yeah, like your parents or something, and they've grown up and they've seen. Can you imagine being 16, their age, when like the best thing you could do was have a car and go to like the roller rink and go to the cinema and stuff? Being 16 in our generation, where you can literally like plug your controller into a microphone and talk virtually into a screen for hours and hours on ends. Like, if I was like an 80s kid in my window right now, how different my life would be perceived through their eyes. They'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Because I'm just sitting there talking to a screen with like plugged in. Honestly, I can't imagine.
I'm not gonna cap though. I think I'd rather be in the 80s, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it depends on your personality a lot of the time. Because
I'm trying to slay something at the drive-in.
He'd be vibing.
I'm just trying to slay something in the drive-in one time. Yeah, babies, pull up to the drive-in. Slay that thing. There's something. The Goonies just came out, but it's a new movie, baby girl. Let's watch this real quick. In the station wagon, got the little comforter back there.
Driving and chill, yeah. We would have invented that for a long time.
Yeah, safe, Mo. Catch you in the next one, Mo. Big love, bro.
Have a good one, Mo.
I don't know. I think I would, looking at that, it would be crazy. But I feel like we will experience that maybe soon. Maybe like virtual reality come on and we'll be having podcasts sitting next to each other, like some Jedi Council or something like that.
I would say this. My grandma is 87 years old and she uses an iPad faithfully, FaceTimes and all that shit. So I feel like it's all a mental state too, because at the end of the day, like, God, honestly, like, obviously to her world is fucking vastly different than what she grew up in. But it's like, the fact that she can still function in this world is what's so dope to me, because like, I'm not gonna front. I feel like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna make it, bro. Because sometimes, like, just using my PC, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was playing fucking, what's that game called last night? Sea of Thieves. And I'm like, bro, what the, like, I had to figure out some technical shit of like, about like my, firewall and all that shit. And I was like, nah, bro. I said, if it gets more complicated than this, bro, I'm gonna have to fucking go back to console, bro. What the hell? And like, this is me just going from console to PC. So I'm like, man, if the world gets more complicated than this, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
All right, guys. We've got 15 more minutes. Okay, let's keep to our 2-hour timeline. What do we want to go on for 15 minutes?
Bofa.
Third one was well, we didn't touch on gaming and we didn't touch on the
we could touch. Ooh.
So what have we been talking about for an hour and 40 minutes? Fighting.
Well, the first hour was just going down the idea of the dick outweighed of what you achieved, and then we went into just our personal experiences about enabling situations, and then we're talking about adult, like just our adult life or young adult life in more in a sense.
Yeah.
So you guys want to talk about what? You guys want to talk about? Okay, I want to talk about the game in 2020, and the reason I want to talk about it is for this reason only, because obviously we're gamers here. So like I said, I was doing research, just looking up topics. And they said in 2020, 55% of people in the US picked up gaming as their hobby during quarantine. 55%. And Nintendo Switch went fucking sold out. Animal Crossing had more sales than it's ever had. Pokemon had more sales than it ever have. All these games broke different records in 2020. Like I said, they estimated that that it garnered like $126.6 billion last year in gaming alone. I talked about this a little bit on my own stream, but I think it's crazy because like I see this, and it didn't dawn on me until yesterday when you guys were playing Battlefront. You said the server was full. The server was full multiple times. And I'm like, yo. Is gaming like finally becoming like mainstream? Because it's always been taboo. It's mostly like mobile gaming is the only thing that's been like mainstream, but like gaming, console gaming, PC gaming has always been taboo. Do you feel like it's finally gonna become mainstream, or do you think it's gonna go back to the way it was?
I feel like the increase will remain, not probably at the same levels, right? Because I feel like gaming has changed, especially over the last few years with esports and stuff like that, and the rise of like these YouTube stars who are millionaires banging Minecraft or something like that. I feel like before then gaming was seen as a waste of time, as a hobby, but as gaming technology has gone on, it's offered a lot more. It's actually, you could take it as a career path, and one of the main things I value from gaming, which I always state is my case, is the social aspect. I would never have met Woozy if it weren't due to games. If I weren't interested in games, I wouldn't be on Twitch like that. I wouldn't be doing any like interacting. We wouldn't have met. Half of my friends I speak to on a daily because I'm on Xbox or I'm on Xbox chat now. I'm a PC guy and PC Master Racing. But the social aspect is there. Even when I'm not playing game, I can use my game console to talk because I ain't paying for credit to phone no one and Wi-Fi, like whatever. But I can use it as a social aspect, and I feel like people are finally realizing that and realizing there's more to gaming than just playing games. You can learn a lot. I've learned some things from games that I haven't learned anywhere else. I can attribute a few things I've learned purely from gaming or speaking to people through a game system. So I feel like people are starting to realize that and realize you can make money and it can actually bring you joy. And I think it's not going to rocket. I don't think it will become mainstream, but I think it will become much more accepted than it already is.
To address my boy Lin P, he said gaming is a familiar thing with newer gens. Back when it first came out, it was a whole different concept of people. Now it's not so different. So the statistics show that from age 18 to 24, so that's like around our age basically, 66% of people are playing on console, and then there's like another 60% that are playing mobile titles. And a lot of the older crowd is playing mobile titles. I mean, there's some people who are playing consoles, but it's mostly mobile. And, you know, that's the Angry Birds, the fucking Candy Crush, and the games like that. And my grandma plays fucking...
Facebook gaming is predominantly mobile games, you know?
Exactly.
A lot of the older purely for mobile. But yeah, go on.
And I was like, even my grandma plays fucking Candy Crush on her fucking tablet, like, faithfully. And I'm like... So it's like... It's crazy to go from a concept where like when I was a kid playing video games, you are a bum. Go outside. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you normal? To now my grandma's sitting in the motherfucking kitchen and I hear it's tasty. That's all I fucking hear in the corner. Whatever the fucking sugar-tastic, whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts. I think the mobile gaming one is popular because everyone has a phone, and because of the ability of smartphones. Like, do you remember when they first brought out the iPod Touch, and that was the gaming?
Still got it.
Exactly, right. To have an iPod Touch was your gaming console. Now they're completely null and void because your iPhone is an iPod Touch, just with a phone on it.
And technically,
and that revolutionized the whole movement of tech because it was the iPod, the iPod Touch, the iPhone 3, and that was when everyone had accessibility to games because it was no longer just Snake. It was you could play whatever. You could play Candy Crush. You could play. Do you remember that Doodle Jump?
Yeah, Doodle Jump was fucking addictive.
Doodle Jump was like fucking revolutionary. That shit was wild, you know, and that made it so much more accessible because the stereotype is that predominantly males play consoles and play PC, whilst females and males have phones. So. And you could sit and you could just, with one click, you're on the game. There's no hassle, there's no sign up, none of that crap. And you're on and you're ready to go. So in terms of accessibility, phones are above and beyond.
If we're keeping it $150, Activision owes me an iPod Touch, bro. Because Activision dropped fucking Call of Duty World at War Zombies on the motherfucking iPod Touch. And that shit fried. If anybody played that shit on an iPod Touch when it first came out, that shit made your fucking iPod steaming hot. And that shit, after a couple years, bro, that battery was fucking going. Like, you would plug it up, it make like the boop boop noise. This is back when all you had was just a black wallpaper. Can you guys remember that? It was just, remember when we didn't have a choice in our backgrounds? It was just black wallpaper. Cold world.
I didn't have no iPod Touch. So no.
Bro, that iPod Touch dead ass, bro.
That
battery just died. Jailbreak, oh my god, the concept of jailbreaking was nuts.
Jailbreak everything. I think that the whole point of like gaming as a whole in 2020 increasing, obviously with Corona and stuff, is a lot of people have a lot more spare time and they're not going out as much, so they need something to do to fill their time. So I think the increase is natural, but then I think the amount of people who would have taken it as a hobby now because they found enjoyment, like I was saying this in our chat, the inflation through gaming devices and technology as a whole has increased dramatically because more people are buying it, more people are streaming, etc., etc. So I think it will become more popular in the next 3 to 5 years than it ever has been. But I think that's a natural increase. But I think the dramatic climb will be because of the last year.
100%.
Yep, people are realizing that there's not much to do from, you know, when you, I don't know, I always get when I was younger, if my mom told me to come off the game and and I'll be like, I'm bored, she'd be like, go read a book. I think some people are realizing now there's only so many books you could read, but sometimes you need to let loose and play something.
Well, the thing,
Yeah, bro, I can't rage at the book.
Gaming is it changes all the time.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I feel like it's like better than a movie. It's better than a movie sometimes. A lot of times, actually.
Yeah, a lot of times because you're able to socialize and it's interactive. You're in control.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you know, when people are always playing game, okay, but you watch TV. All you're doing TV, you ain't even thinking with TV. Fair enough. There's some programs that might get you thinking. You can learn from. Shout out David Attenborough, but more time it's just mindless watching. Me and you are both looking at a screen, but with my screen, I have the choice of inputs to change the screen. I've got bare shit going on. My awareness is off the point. My hand-eye coordination is there. I'm getting much more playing game than you are watching TV more time. Like, who the fuck cares about Kim Kardashian? Sorry, Kim Kardashian, if you're watching it. Who the fuck cares?
Did you care? Did you hear about that? The surgeon, bro, who's like, basically like they did like a research on this guy. I can't remember. It was like basically like this surgeon plays video games, and because that he plays like a lot of FPS shooter video games, his what do you say? How would you say, like his, like, no, not hand-eye, decision making skills are better than most surgeons because of playing Call of Duty. Is like, you know, you gotta make the quick decision like right then and there. Like you gotta assess the situation and make it. So like because of that, when he's doing surgery, his like that's better for him because if a situation comes up, he can think about it and process it faster than most people because of video games. That's what he's doing like basically daily. And I thought that was fucking nuts to think about. Like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that.
Even put that into gamers, like all of us are gamers, right? You can see when some people play games who is better and who's not as good. Not even just by their skill and how accurate they are, but sometimes just the decision making or how much they're actually taking in from the environment in the screen. That is a skill, fam, and that's transferable. Yeah. Like, you ain't just gonna be just good at that. If you have that awareness to make decisions, you're gonna be able to take that everywhere, anywhere.
Yeah,
I feel that's valuable from.
There's like a whole heap of things like planning ahead, fast decision making,
fighting games,
decision making, understanding, being able to take a loss. Like, these are things that people who don't lose can't do. You know, like,
now, let's be honest.
Gratitude. There's a whole lot of shit. Don't get me wrong. We all suck at taking losses on COD.
I would say Call of Duty, no one takes a loss, bro. I just backed the fuck out. I just recently stopped backing out this year.
But like, I think as a whole, like that's the point, right? Is there's a lot of things to be learned from gaming. Like, it doesn't have to be just COD, right? If you're playing Super Mario and that's engaging your brain is still more engaged than it would be if you're just watching some dead shit on TV that you genuinely don't care about. Like, that's just fact.
Housewives.
Opon said games have touched my heart more than any movie, and I definitely want to talk about that because I ain't gonna front. I think. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I've always been a fan of games, but I realized we were in a new era in games when Last of Us 1 came out. When Last of Us 1 came out, I think that's where I realized, like, oh shit. Games are about to be a whole different thing. That and Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, no, Metal Gear Solid is nuts. I think the thing with games are essentially first-person movies.
Mm-hmm. That's what I felt about the God of War. When I was watching the gameplay, I was like, bro, you're sitting there watching stuff more time. Like, this seems more cinematic.
But you can even relate that to like what YouTube creators create. They make a story. That's why you're engaged. Yeah, but that's the point. Is that's why you're engaged, because albeit not for like that 8-minute span, that 10-minute span, they've got you engaged because they've created a story, and you're following it. That is essentially what it is. So when I'm sitting there and I'm watching some guy on YouTube who's made like a 10-minute video about, I don't know what else, they've got a topic and they're playing through the topic.
Yeah.
It's a story, and the gaming has revolutionized the way we can
next
communicate
level
and tell
immersion.
stories. Yeah, it's awesome. It's fucking amazing. Like I remember a friend who cried at Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Cried.
He cried when
What a
Captain
bitch.
Price died. Well, he didn't die.
Spoilers alert. Is that when Shepard? I swear that was Modern Warfare 2.
Warfare 2.
No,
When
is it
When
I thought it
Shepard
was
shot
COD.
Ghost.
No, COD
can't
4 is
remember.
when he dies. COD 4 is when he's on the bridge and Sakayev or whatever.
Oh,
his name
yeah,
is, comes
yeah,
through the eagle and pops him in the face and you throw a knife him. No, you shoot him.
Yeah,
and then
you
in
shoot him.
the second one is where he's getting punched in and you're
You throw a
soaked
knife.
and you do the throwing knife.
Yeah.
Bro, when Shepard snaked them man and killed man like Ghost. Oh,
Oh, look!
Oh.
I knew you were about to say that. I said when he killed Ghost, bro, I was ready to throw the whole motherfucking Xbox 360 out the window.
bro.
No, 100%. 100%.
Hey,
but I
no
think-
cap.
I remember, but
Shepard.
do you remember
I was
though,
like,
in
all
that
the shit
moment,
in the world.
but in that moment, you're sitting there screaming at the TV like, "No, they're killing Soap," and it's because you've gained an appreciation for him because the game has made a story for you to relate to, and you're playing it, which makes it even more personal because you're actively making decisions.
I'm gonna keep it a buck
Like,
Like, that's
50.
nuts.
Go on.
I feel like maybe Call of Duty, for me personally, Call of Duty never affected me on too deep of a level. But I think like I said, Last of Us is the one I use for example because like, especially, I mean, spoiler alert, y'all. If y'all haven't played Last of Us 1, grow the fuck up. It's been out for so long. Go ahead and get that game, bro. At the end, when you have to do that fucking heinous ass crime at the end, bro, and like it's one thing to watch it, but you know, it's like it's one thing to watch it in a movie, you're like, oh, I close my eyes, but it's like in a game, no, you gotta live it, bro. You gotta go and be the one who makes the actions. You gotta be good. And like,
Garbage game.
oh man, Limpy. Hey, where my mod at? Get fucking Limpy out the
Hey.
get the Limpy the hell out of here, bro.
I just think you need to give us all moderators, as well, I guess. All the
That's
moderators,
real.
separate accounts.
Okay.
Oh, I got you. But
Got-
yeah, man, like I said, it's something about being in the seat that fucking just makes it nutty to me.
Yeah.
You've seen Naruto in it, Uzi.
Of course,
Ryan's not too
that
anime
motherfucking
and
swing.
Bro, you know the Naruto game, yeah? Spoilers alert. You know when Jiraiya dies in the anime, that touched everybody.
Yeah,
But there's one part in the game that touched me, yeah, when you got to fight and you're doing that mission, yeah. And you're lying on the
Mission.
floor.
yeah, bruh.
You can't control yourself, and they're just attacking you, and your hope is slowly going. They're trying to protect you. You're like, yo, come on, get up, man, please. Like, I'm pressing A, why is he not jumping? And man's just lying on the floor, getting his heads chefed up by each one of them. Bro, that touched me. That touched me, fam.
I'm sorry,
That
brother.
was sad.
Nothing will ever touch my soul on an inspiration level more than 3 fights in fucking Naruto. The first fight, season 1 fight, bruh. When he's fighting fucking Zabuza and that boy who looks like a girl.
Haku.
Yeah, Haku. Like that. First of all, that fight was probably like that. Like span of fights is probably like some of the coldest shit ever. Like 10 out of 10 most inspiring fights ever. Then the Rock Lee and Gaara fight, man. It's just something about when he takes the motherfucking plates off his legs, bro.
Bro, I watched a video yesterday where a guy tried to do it in real life. Like, he tried to see if he wore plates could he get faster. And I see the little clip he's holding up there, and he just drops it. And then tomorrow he's like, "What? Is he figure a little bit of weight's gonna help him?" Where's
Boom,
the whole room shakes? Yo,
bruh.
Yo.
Literally that fight. Just watching the fight go down and seeing my man Rock Lee still lose, bro. I think that's the part that hurt. And then, I'm sorry, bro. I don't care. Like, even though people like, oh nah, this top 5. Okay, this still one of my top 3. And I'm gonna get flamed because the Sasuke versus Naruto fight is top tier. The fucking Obito versus fucking Kakashi fight is top tier. But it's just something about that motherfucking Neji fight versus Naruto, bro. That original when he thinks Naruto's a little punk.
yeah, I remember that very vaguely.
When he
was
gets-
talking shit on his name.
Bro, talking shit, trying to say this is your destiny, bro. Just accept your destiny. And he gets that mean ass uppercut. Blow.
Yes.
Ah, top tier.
Right. Okay, guys. Okay. to reel it back in, yeah.
Guys, modern.
The whole point of gaming in 21, I think we can all agree, it grew massively. We hope it's here to stay, and we expect it to be mainstream in years to come, but currently not fully where it could be. We agree that obviously like mobile gaming is the biggest source because it's the most accessible, but in terms of like consoles and stuff like that, with everything being sold out, it's huge and it is growing, and we expect it to continue.
You thought you were gonna post something, ZK? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
You thought
fuck you thought you were gonna post in here? Get your shit out of here. This bot. But I was gonna say, what do you guys think the future game is looking like? I said VR is getting more accessible each year, bro. They got the wireless VR. What's the Oculus Quest? Wireless one, bro. The wireless is nuts.
I tell you what, yeah, given the pandemic, it's gonna change a lot. I think a lot less people, even when the lockdown goes down, I think there'll be like a little boom of when people go back together. But I feel like this little period has changed it for a while. So 100%. I think gaming will become a lot more, in future years to come, it will become a lot more predominant actually, because people realize you can socialize and have a good time on the game, and you don't have to go out and get the virus or be sick even after everything dies down.
I'm not gonna front though. I do want a VR headset. I'm trying to live in the world of fucking Oasis. If you guys ever read the book or seen the movie Ready Player One.
The movie.
I watched it on Christmas Day actually. It's first time ever.
Ready Player One is fucking epic.
I'm gonna keep it a beam. Read the book. The book is way better.
Don't tell me that, because then I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna go, another book I'm not gonna read.
I mean, I get you're not gonna read it, but like, cause obviously the movie makes it look nice, but like, it's more about the how the world actually works. Like, this the concept of like that man was fucking broke, my G, broke. He found that first Easter egg. It was stacked like beyond belief. He didn't even know what to do with himself. He was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here.
It's nuts. Like, honestly, like the whole concept of that book, film, whatever, is incredible. Like the idea of like nothing to something because of like the journey that you go through, and just the appreciation for gaming.
Yeah.
Was like the overall point of like, oh, he wasn't playing to win. He was just playing to play. And like, I love that. I love that.
Maybe we'll answer it next week, but there's a word for it. But if you could go into like a cryo chamber or whatever, if you could be put into a dream state where you could live out your whole dreams, anything you wanted, but it's not real, would you do that rather than just live normal life? And I feel
so Sword Art Online.
That's for next week. That's gonna be a long conversation.
I'm gonna keep it a beam, bro. I'm just trying to get behind Amber Rose in that thing.
Bro, you could go in the Matrix and you could have Amber Rose there. You could be Hugh Hefner of all the celebrities. You could do what you want.
I'm just trying to have Amber Rose busted down, bro. That's all I want.
That's all he wants, guys. One simple how to please man like Woozy, fam.
Hey man, busted challenge. Bless my timeline.
You know, yeah, I actually can't get away from this shit. I actually can't. Like, and it's not because I'm going, oh yeah, I'm typing this shit into TikTok. No, fam. All my boys, they're putting it in my fucking stream chat. They're putting it in the group chat.
Who needs OnlyFans, bro? Who needs OnlyFans when you got Twitter and only in the busted challenge, bro?
I swear to you, yeah.
Oh, Woozy, Dance has got to send you one, fam.
Oh no,
bro.
Top tier?
SFW, fam.
I found like 3 OnlyFans renditions of Busted challenges, fam. I went down a rabbit hole, bro, and come up with some goodies, some eggs.
But I remember this is a girl I know semi personally, bro. She has an OnlyFans account, and I'm gonna end it here. She has an OnlyFans account, and she's big enough that they have a fucking. She told me, yeah, they have a fucking Reddit forum with her leaks on it, and I said, what?
What's that? Let me go verify.
Nah. She is fucking stacked.
You know, it's one of them ones there, bro. I'm sitting, I'm going, Woozy's definitely been on that Reddit.
Bruh, she's stacked.
You got to
like
support
motherfucking
these.
pancakes.
Damn.
Guys, I have a suggestion. Yeah. So to finish it off, should we drop a raid on Man Like Lay Squid?
We can do that.
I feel like that's a wholesome way to do it.
A wholesome way?
A wholesome way. It's so fucking wholesome when you drop a raid. Holy fucking.
Let's see if I know how to remember how to raid without a thing.
Damn.
God
You
damn.
know, OnlyFans,
Is
that's
it
your tone?
lay
I know you
underscore
don't
squid 559? Blow! Invalid username.
Who wants to do the outro? Who's popping in with the outro?
I did it wrong.
Oh, thank you everyone for tuning in. That is the end of the podcast. It's been a lovely one. We didn't stick to our topics too. Well, we didn't cover all our topics, but it was a great conversation either way. You have to put my full name in for that one.
Oh fuck.
Oh, you blew it.
I did. Yeah.
Whose
then
man
it's
is
the
this?
But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for interacting. I am Sly with the robe. You can find me there. We have, where is it? Above us at the top of the pyramid, we got Viva the Legend, and he can be found at that link there. And then to the left of the screen, we got Uzi, the vibe coordinator.
You
And
see
he can
it?
be found there. We appreciate you all for coming. Tune in next week where we should be. What time we start? What time are we starting next week?
Hey, man.
We're starting at
my
4
life,
p.m. UK
4
time. fam.
p.m.
My life is a fucking mess. I'm sorry, y'all.
4 p.m. Look, we're changing it. 4 p.m. Next week at 4 p.m. What's that time in thing? 8.
8, yeah.
That's 8.
I fucking hate it here.
So we appreciate you for coming. Hope to see you next time. And yeah, thank you very much.
Coming through with the raid. Across the pond raid.
Why the raid is gonna smile and wave, boys? Smile and wave.